So I was just about to get some work done, but then I get a notification that says that Green Lantern is going to be the big bad in the DCU going forward. I've got to see what this is all about. This is coming from Comic Book Cast, and their videos have been really accurate before, so let's see what they're talking about.
We are hearing that Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern, is going to have a huge role in the DCU going forward.
Okay.
And apparently the role is so huge that Hal is going to be the villain of the Justice League. So you're probably wondering why and how. Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about.
I am wondering both of those things. He is correct.
Okay, everybody, let's get into conspiracy land with the theories that are going on out there. So chances are that you guys have seen people talk about Lanterns, what that series is about, how it's going to connect to the bigger DC universe, the casting of Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan, aka Green Lantern, or
great
one of
casting,
many
by the way.
Green Lanterns. And chances are that you're still asking questions about how does a show that's largely set on Earth in the Deep South connect to anything? Well, from what we know, this is sort of a true detective-style story. There will be plenty of Green Lantern flair, but again, they have to bring it back down and try to...
I gotta say, that's one of the things I'm worried about most with the series is I just want it not to feel like not cosmic enough. I know a lot of people have been saying that, but I am worried about that.
Establish a human connection. Per multiple reports that have hit, Hal Jordan is expected to sort of hand over the Green Lantern role to the new Green Lantern, John Stewart, permanently. And there is a belief that Kyle Chandler signed on for one season and multiple films. Now, again, what films? They're not making a Green Lantern film, so what's going on? Enter the conspiracies. So they're stating...
I'm going to let him finish, but I actually think I know what those films might be. But I want to hear what he has to say.
That essentially by the end of Lanterns, we are going to see Hal Jordan corrupted. He's going to become a bad guy. Maybe even succumbing to Sinestro's pull or Atrocitus or one of the Lanterns. But essentially, it's believed that they're setting up Hal Jordan as the big bad of the first big culmination Avengers-style film that the DC Universe is going to do. Now, whether or not this is Justice League or World's Finest, Gods and Monsters, or whatever they call it. I'm not sure, right? Nobody's really sure. Whatever they call it, theories are that he's going to be the villain. And the reason behind this is then they can bring in Hal Jordan, obviously, as, hey, look, we got a star, Kyle Chandler. You guys know who he is. And then you got John Stewart, who's the new Green Lantern, working with the new Superman.
I mean, is he really that big of a star? Like, I think people know who he is. I don't even know if he's a household name, though. I think he's just one of those guys where people see him like, oh, yeah, I know that guy.
And working with the new Wonder Woman and a new Batman, all teaming up for the first time with the rest of the Justice Gang to take on somebody we know. And again, this gives him history with the DC Universe and the other Lanterns, but we see it from the perspective of Hal Jordan, who's our new POV through the whole, story for who the Lanterns are. And if this turns out to be true, and this is a theory we've had on the podcast for a while, ever since they announced the series, we were like, well, Jordan's probably going to become the villain, right? Like, Parallax are going to do something with him. There's multiple things you can pull from the comics, but I think it would make sense to make one of your own the villain that they have to fight. It pulls in a lot of parallels with what they did with Loki,
I don't know.
You have a character that people really liked in Thor, and they pivoted to make him the villain because of the reception, because he was supposed to die at the end of Thor 1.
Yeah, but that's different, because Loki has always kind of been a villain. Let me let him finish, though. He's almost done.
So this could be a good way to handle things. It's a familiar actor, a familiar character. It grounds everybody. Everybody knows what's at stake. We watch Lanterns. We know exactly where he comes from. It's an easy way to, put the story together and bring us into this universe with one goal: stop the mad Green Lantern at all cost.
Yeah, Armin, buddy, I don't know about this one, man. Don't get me wrong. Comic Book Cast, they get a lot of good scoops over there. They've been right about a lot of things, which I think I said before. But I don't know about this. I really hope this doesn't happen, just because I think it'd be a little too soon to make Green Lantern the main villain. I know that's something that happens in the comic books. He becomes Parallax. I think there's also like a storyline where he becomes the Spectre as well. I haven't read the Blackest Night stuff, but I think maybe he has a hand in that. Either way, I think it would be kind of maybe too soon to do that with Hal Jordan in the DCU. If anything, so I'm really hoping that this scoop isn't right. I could see that perhaps that by the end of the Lantern show coming out, he does become like Parallax, or they kind of hint to that. Maybe he dies and we just think he's dead, but he'll come back later on down the road as Parallax. I think that would be much better than just having him be the big bad of Justice League, but I could be wrong. As far as him saying that this is comparable to Loki being the big bad in Avengers, I just don't agree with that, just because Loki has always kind of been a villain traditionally in the comics. Also, I mean, in the Thor movie, he was a bad guy. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's really the exact same thing. This is something I hope they don't do, at least not right away. I'd really like to see someone else, maybe like a Brainiac, be the villain for the first Justice League movie, or just someone that can kind of set the tone and start leading us towards Darkseid, because I think that's definitely where they're probably going. If you've seen Peacemaker season 2, and where I think they should go, because I mean, you gotta do Darkseid. If you're doing Justice League, you gotta do Darkseid. A little side note too, I think if they were to do the whole good guy becomes a bad guy and he's the first villain for the Justice League, it could feel a little bit too on the nose and be too similar to what Marvel did with the Avengers, which is something that I don't know if people would like, especially like normies. They might be like, oh, this is just like the Marvel movies. So yeah, I don't think they should do that, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Like I said, Comic Book Cast is really good. Get over there, follow those guys. I'll have their link to the original video in the description. Stay up to date with them, and yeah, stay up to date with me as well. Here on this second channel, I do a lot of reactions, but over on the main channel, I'm also going to be posting a lot of good stuff, some commentary, some video essays on things like the DCU, Star Wars, and just anything nerdy pop culture. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Leave me a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video.